Hi, Russell Cummings. Just wanted to talk to you about creating a value proposition for your business. Now, this is a tool that I've borrowed from the guys at Balanced Scorecard, probably one of the most influential books on business strategy and planning in the last 10 years by a couple of guys called Kaplan and Norton from Harvard Business School. And one of the components of their book is they talk about value proposition and how value is defined by three key things. So this is value as defined by your customers or your clients. And they say that when we look at value, we look at three key areas. We look at the attributes of that product, and they can be things like the features or timeliness or price or other things. The image that product projects in the marketplace, and then the quality of the relationship that that business builds with you. We add up all these things and come up with a measure of value. Now, I like cars, so if you think about cars, so if you think about a car like a Hyundai, the product attributes are about value and economy and those sorts of issues, sort of things. Whereas the image is very much around family, economical, those sort of things. The relationship, they don't spend much time building a relationship with you because the value is not in the product to do that. And therefore you weigh up your value for your Hyundai, which is quite a good quality car, and you weigh up the value proposition for that, and you go, okay, doesn't handle that well, doesn't go that fast around corners, but it's a great car, it's fantastic value for me and my family. If you then take one of the European marques like BMW or Audi or Mercedes, insert European car of your choice in here, you say, well, what are the product attributes? And the attributes for us are, often around engineering and sportiness and handling and, quality, those sorts of things. The image is very much around prestige and sportiness and that European thing. And then they take time to build relationships with you and understand how you interact, because they want you to come back and buy from them again and again and again. So they spend some time on that sort of stuff. You get the magazine, you get invited to drive days, all those sorts of important things that help build the relationship with you. And those three things, the attributes, the image, and the relationship, all add up to the value. And therefore that's the reason why you're prepared to pay a lot more money for a BMW or an Audi or a Mercedes-Benz than you would be for a Toyota or a Kia or a Hyundai. It's not necessarily about the steel and the leather and the rubber that goes into building that car. It's actually about a whole heap of other things that you pay for, and that's how we determine value. So we're going to use this to determine what value is in our business. What I get you to do is brainstorm what are the 3 or 4 key words that define our product attributes, or the attributes of our service. What are 3 or 4 words that define the image we want to project in the marketplace? And lastly, what are 3 or 4 things that tell us about the quality of the relationships you want to build with your customers? So what we'll end up with is a question that says, our products must, the image we project in the marketplace should be, and the quality of the relationships, quality of our relationships will be built upon. So they're the sort of questions you want to ask. You'll end up with 3 or 4 words in each. I'll then get you to go back and say, okay, so let's say one of the image you might have is prestige. What do you mean by prestige? So a short, concise statement that defines prestige, or trust, or whatever it might be for a relationship or what you want to have. So from that, we're going to build that value proposition, and the value proposition is very much about how you're going to go about delivering that value to your client.